when a little notification pops up on my phone, it distracts me. It distracts everybody sitting at the table. Welcome to Without a Doubt, the podcast, where we explore the transformative journey of breaking cycles and embracing our truest self. I'm Mad, a cycle breaker, a creative, and a sprinkle of reality. If they ever told you to be quiet, sit down, blend in, but you couldn't, this podcast is for you. I'm so happy you're here. Knock, knock. Is anyone here? Actually, I don't know if it's just me, or does anyone else feel like a lot of times you're having conversations with a brick wall? Maybe it is just me, but I am also currently just talking to an iPhone in a room all alone. So I find so often I'm having a legit conversation with someone and they just interrupt my story to share their story. Better yet, they just move into a brand new subject. Granted, I can be a squirrel and I can do that too, but in general, I find most meaningful conversations, or the conversations that are happening, they get interrupted, they're distracted, or maybe the person I'm talking to is just uninterested. Maybe I'm boring, but I also think that so many other things are a factor on why people can't actually get into true meaningful conversations, because you can't have a connection without actually listening. First of all, let's all put away our fucking iPhones, or phones in general, during conversations. This episode, by the way, is literally about, I feel like nobody is out there listening. I feel like everyone is just walking around and having these surface level conversations, and nobody truly cares about what is going on with other people. The conversations are only about themselves, the self-centered people, but maybe, once again, like I said, it is me. Maybe it is my circle. Maybe those are the changes that I need to do. But I feel like if this is happening to me, it could also be happening to you. So back to it. Let's put away our fucking iPhones, put away your phones wherever you are during whatever conversations. Are you sitting down for dinner? Are you in the car with your relative? Are you doing something where there's bonding time happening and you are with another human being face to face? You probably shouldn't be sitting on your cell phone. Like, I know everything is there, unless you're like actually doing something. I get at work, you maybe together you guys are Googling something or whatever. But I feel like so often everyone's just sitting on their phone scrolling. Like, there's so many digital distractions with social media, having our iPhones, literally like having the internet at our fingertips. The constant connectivity has made it easier for us to tune out of the face-to-face interactions, period. People are more focused on checking notifications or scrolling through social media rather than actually engaging in deep conversations. And like, that's what I feel like is going on in my real life. It happens all the time. Even when a little notification pops up on my phone, it distracts me. It distracts everybody sitting at the table. Our Apple Watches are constantly buzzing and vibrating, and we're always notified. I hate the smartphone. It is a gift, but it is also a curse when it comes to living more woke, alive, and aware. We're having all these surface level conversations. So many conversations are just like transactional. They're just like not really thoughtful or intimate or seem like they're genuinely caring. Small talk is a default. We all get that. It doesn't really foster any meaningful engagement. A lot of the work conversations, even ones with our family, sometimes can also be very surface level. You feeling the need to share random things or talk at random dinners. Sometimes the conversation just falls flat, and that's hard to engage when you truly don't want to. There's also a lack of active listening. Meaningful conversations require you to listen. Oh, and for you to respond. You have to understand each other also. There's a lot of us, a lot of times, people are just preoccupied with their own thoughts, responses, or even trying to win the conversation. Do you ever have that one friend that just has a better story than you? They got a better thing than you. You're sharing the thing that happened to you, and their story is more elaborate. Do you have one of those friends? I think everybody has one of those friends. And that's the obnoxious friend, by the way. It's so often that the empathy and the heartfelt conversations happen when we are hearing the conversations, when we're active listening, and we're not actually worried about sharing our story back. The most meaningful moments are usually the times where someone's sharing something with you and you least expect it, leaving us mostly speechless. I've had some seriously special conversations with certain friends that will forever hold true to me. And all I could think about in those moments and times is like how I was just open to listening. Listening is such a great tool, and so many people do not know how to do it. I think also having the meaningful conversations is hard. So people have a hard time listening. That requires emotional openness and vulnerability. The main word of like a lot of my episodes, it's intimidating, it's uncomfortable. And it's like that for a lot of people actually. Like the fear of judgment or rejection itself will make it difficult for any of us to want to open up and engage. Who wants to be judged? No one wants to feel like, oh, why should I shouldn't have said that. I know I have left conversations where I'm like, oh my gosh, was that appropriate? Was that even hurtful maybe? Sounded like some type of way. I think we tend to overthink and judge ourselves more than other people really will or do. If you're being yourself in the conversations, authentically you, that is what is going to draw the people in that are for you. I mean, also, I can chalk it up to people are just oftentimes having a hard time listening or engaging in conversations because we're just juggling too many things. Multiple responsibilities, leaving, like there's just no time for us to slow down and have more meaningful exchanges. The pace of our modern day lives actually encourages convenience, quick, efficient interactions instead of the more thoughtful, deeper ones. The fast, quick dinner exchanges, the convenience stops, you should say. We so often struggle to actually have the time to make time for the deeper conversations, but you can make the time. And when you do, you can talk it out and you can listen and you can engage with your friend. I think conversations are not the only way to share and connect, by the way. There's ways we do it in modern day, as I was talking about. Like, it's not hard to reach out to your friends. You can just share a video, a text, a pic, a random love you, a reel, like a TikTok. All of those things are ways for you to share with your friends and engage and create bonds, but also build an entire way to create the conversation and continue the conversation. Me and my best friend, this is a great one. Me and my best friend rarely text message. We basically talk through Instagram Reels every day. Also, like if I do talk to her, it's because something's going on and I need to talk to her. We don't just like small talk, chit chat. We also have been spending more time on the catch up route because life is lifing. But we literally reach out to each other through reels and little ways of memes and things that we know each other likes. And I think that's our love language to each other in this current modern day. It's not hard to open the conversation. It's not hard to listen to your friends. Listen to their reels. Take a few minutes. If that's what they're sending to you, they want you to see it. I also think, a lot of times we're struggling with our communication styles, so it's hard to listen to one another. We misunderstand each other a lot. I think people misunderstand one another because we just don't speak the same language, even if it is the same language. We're not hearing each other. We're not listening. We're not taking the time to actually clarify meanings, intentions, and I think people just feel disconnected. So it's easy to not want to interact. So many times this has happened to me, and it's because like what I'm saying isn't actually equating to what the other person is thinking. It doesn't like add up. The way you said it is just, they didn't like it. Your tone, they didn't like it. I mean, the wording choice, they didn't like it. The lack of listening, all of those things lead to miscommunication. And I think when I'm like, hey, are you listening? I think this is part of that. I think you can listen, but you can also be open to a deeper connection. You can understand more deeply and you can find more empathy. And then finally, listening is hard because we have enough emotional overload going on. But I don't want to make this an excuse. The complexity of emotion in today's world, especially with everything like mental health, social anxieties, traumas, all of this stuff makes it hard for us to like really engage in these deep emotional depth of a conversation, like the deep blue seas. That's why as we get older, it is harder to make friends and do things like that. You learn to guard better the older you get. You learn to get better at the surface level conversations. And I think that's why maybe as I'm getting older, I feel like nobody's listening. Like everyone is just like, oh yes, I'm in my main character life. It is me. I am this. Like I don't have time for that. But I think you have to foster and build and want to listen. Sometimes people are not really ever going to be sure how to articulate their feelings and are afraid of overwhelming you because maybe you never listen. Sometimes they don't want to share because they feel like you don't care. And I think everyone is just out there living their lives and doing these things. But at the end of the day, we have to communicate with one another. And that includes talking and sharing, but also listening. I think one of the most important things is when you're listening and you can relate. It is such a cool thing when you can say same, and when that other person can hear you, man, that feels so good. It feels so good to be heard. So next time you feel like maybe I'm not listening, this is a really good time for you to step back. Or maybe you're somebody that you're like, maybe I do interject. Maybe I do that. We are all becoming and growing every day. I know for myself, I am a squirrel. I jump into conversations, but I've been working on that. I've been trying to listen better. And I think that's why I made this episode, because I'm always like, man, nobody hears me. I said that. Did anybody hear me? I am also the eldest of 3 kids, but I am also the only girl with 2 brothers. And a lot of times my brothers are louder than I am. Not just vocally, but just emotionally and all the other things. So it's hard to be heard when you are drowned, the sound or the emotional or all the things are drowned out. They'll hear you at some point if you're on the opposite end. I'm talking to myself here, huh? I think this is a reminder, though, we all need to be heard, we all need to listen, and we all need to care. I think we have a whole mix of individual, societal, technological factors that really contribute to the challenge. But with more awareness, more effort, we can slow down, we can be more present, and we can definitely foster more meaningful conversations with listening. I've learned a hell of a lot in the last 5 years, and I fostered some seriously deep conversations. I've fostered some seriously deep connections with special people who understand me. And these are the people who have learned to cherish me, but that took listening on both ends. When you find people and you get into the nitty gritty, be open, be yourself, and keep those people close if they love who you are. You create the tables and the circles that you want to be a part of. Get more into the conversation, hear others more, and stop checking your fucking phone. Nothing is there and nothing is that important. I mean, maybe, but you're missing out on the best parts of life because we're waiting for the next thing to alert us. We were never meant to be this accessible, and I know you hear that everywhere. Go out and listen to the lady in line about what's going on in her life, because you know what? Maybe she'll inspire you to do something different. Get in the moment, get in the conversation, and learn more about the person you are sitting next to or in line with, and take something with you that you could share with someone else. We are all special. We all have experiences, life stories, and advice. That is what makes us a community. And hey, can't do that without listening to what they got to say. You are without a doubt a badass. Don't you forget it. And I will see you next week for episode number 80. 80. I can't believe we're almost there. XOXO, your girl Mad. See you then. Bye.